On the final game of Saturday action, Liverpool was able to top Aston Villa 2-0. On Sunday, Man United had a dominant victory against Leicester City 3-0, while Nottingham Forest fell to Newcastle 3-1. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Now's the time to get your John Deere equipment inspected and prepared for next season. Acres trained technicians will thoroughly evaluate your machine and get it running at peak performance. And for a limited time, Acres is offering early inspection incentives. Sign up before December 15th and qualify for a discount on parts installed by Acres. Get no interest and no payments until November of 25 with approved financing through John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. Contact your nearest Acres location for details.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine, but also lots of wind. We'll see an afternoon high around 49. Tonight, clear skies with a continued breeze, a low near 28. Tomorrow, sunshine returns with a light breeze, and an afternoon high near 44. Our meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
As you're gearing up for Christmas, it's time to head to Tailored Life in Bennett to get ready with local shopping. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of Christmas trees in all different colors. Plus, many other fall and winter holiday items and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer.
Blitz is on. Taylor picks it up. Fires. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Canadian Football League Grey Cup champion.
Taylor again, wide open.
And first-team All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
5 for Steve Taylor. That is a new Nebraska record.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
Welcome in. It is Wednesday, and that means it is weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. Steve, welcome in. I hope you're having a good week.
Dude, it's cold outside.
I know. I did notice
All of
that.
a sudden, that hawk just start flying around like crazy, man. Man, I was like, I need to get out I had to bring up my overcoat from downstairs, my big heavy winter coat. Took all my golf clothes, took all that stuff downstairs in the golf closet, and my golf season is pretty much done.
Oh, no.
For the most part, yeah.
Oh, no.
Unless we get a nice sunny day with 50 and no wind, I get back at it. But now I'm in that mode of putting the clubs away and start to get some golf trips booked and scheduled for the winter months so I can survive again.
I was gonna say, what do you do then in the winter if you can't golf?
Dude, I'm really surprised how well I do in the winter. You know, because I love golf season, love when it's here, but then I can't wait to take a break, and put the sticks down. I guess it's because of football.
Yeah.
I'm used to like taking 5-6 months off after the season is over with. Let your body, your mind, and everything recover, get your mind right, and just kind of enjoy the holidays. So yeah, I'm really surprised on how I managed with that.
Yeah. And you heard you've said you were coming in listening to the captain. You've already disagreed on a few things, so we got some stuff to talk about.
I always chime in on my ride here from home onto the show to see if I can get some insight to see some other perspectives. And I was disagreeing with a couple of things you guys were talking about. And of course, I always want to call in, but I can never remember the number.
Well, if you do want to call in, by the way,
I always touch base with them once I get here and kind of chat with them about that.
Yeah. I saw you talking to Euler and
Terrell. They may not like me. They may not like me. So I don't know. It is what it is. So
if you do want to chime in today with Steve, 402-464-5685 is the number. Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Also, same number to call in. So if you do happen to want to call in and talk some football, we could do that. But we might as well start talking some football. Nebraska, here we are again, another week, another time I get to say Nebraska comes up short, 28-20, in an entertaining game to USC. But coming up short. What were your takeaways?
I was flirting with moving our show back early up to a Monday. I felt like we always had to wait, to comment about the game that Saturday, right?
Yeah.
But I'm finding out Wednesday's actually the ideal day. It gives me time to reflect, to calm down, and not react or have a reaction. As my wife always says, you don't need to have a reaction, right?
Yeah.
It gives me time to digest things, calm down, and get some other perspectives and some other thoughts. And then by the time I get here Wednesday at 12 o'clock, I'm kind of in a good place.
Yeah.
I'm in a good place. So, I'm not going to mess with that. We're on for Wednesdays.
Yeah. It works out well. And I can agree with you. I like talking to Euler. We get the Euler report from him. It's the same thing. And I was thinking this throughout the week is like individually, they kind of played a complete game. I thought it was.
Oh, they did?
Well, I'm just saying it wasn't like the second quarter was awful and you walk away and go, well, if they didn't have that second quarter, they were in the game the whole way. I think that the game itself wasn't particularly frustrating. The fact that you lose always is, but I think it's the 4-game losing streak that it makes that game more frustrating.
I mean, now you have a valid point with that. I just have a different perspective, man. I really do. USC gave us plenty of opportunities to win the game. I mean, and the only thing that really came out of this game that was good for me is that from an offensive standpoint, the offensive unit seemed to have more fluidity. I wasn't questioning a lot of play calling and things of that nature. Now, individual things, but sure. But as far as the play calling for that particular game, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Either we make the play or didn't make the play or whatever. But there was nothing that I thought was really staring at me and glaring at me like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? So that was a good thing. I don't know much about the offensive coordinator besides the obvious, right? So I think this is a good time for him to kind of see what he's like. If he's interfering for the job, if maybe he has it already, but just to, adjust, get to the players and stuff. So that's why now I'm for, if we can at least get one more win to extend the season. I think that fourth game would be very beneficial to the players and for the offensive coordinator for them to have time to come together and gel.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing from the game. Other than that, it wasn't good, man. And time again, we just don't get it done.
Yeah.
And I know why. And my phone was just blowing up the entire time, this entire week. My phone was blowing up about the Huskers. And once again, I think I could solve it.
You think you can?
Oh, I think I
you
can.
got it
man.
solved.
I even called a few friends of mine, a few athletic directors that I know, and I told myself, because I've done stuff on the radio, I've done stuff in the paper, interview. I've been guest speaker at numerous clubs to speak about the state of the program, and I've given my honest opinion on what I think needs to be done. So I think I've done that part. So I called a couple of guys. I said, hey, if you were the athletic director and a former player called like me, right, with my history, with everything, and I said, hey, can I meet with you for 1 hour to talk with you about a few things that I think could help this program and really be impactful and to get us where we need to go? Would you take that call? And they told me they would. They told me they would take that call to sit down with me for an hour to hear what I would have to say about the program.
Yeah.
Because I really do think I could help them. I really do. But it won't be for free.
No.
Not anymore. No.
Not anymore.
So anyway, I was just going to throw that out there. Because I see so many things that we should be doing to help this state. And it's because of my vast experience in being a resident from Nebraska, a former player from Nebraska, a local businessman from Nebraska, that I think could help this state.
Yeah.
Or help this football.
But you're not going to do it for free, so you can't
No,
tell
I'm not
you
doing
can't
it for
tell
free,
us
man.
right
I'm
now.
done.
No.
That ship is sailed.
Yeah.
The ship is sailed. Because obviously they need some help.
Yeah.
Because they just keep they keep making the same mistakes over and over again.
Yeah, and I think that's again part of the frustration where Nebraska fans are. The idea that they were going to cross this line, and I think the Matt Rule hire was made in he's a program builder. That was kind of the idea behind him, and it was to kind of get you over this hump.
Now we're only in year 2. Don't misunderstand me. We're only in year 2, so I'm not being overly critical with that. And I listened to your show, the Captain Show, Monday and Tuesday, and all these things you were saying. I wanted to call in so bad, right? Because this is the problem, one of the problems that we have in this state. And it's another one I was just writing over here, and I'm going to talk about this, listening to you and Todd and the Black Shirt talk about the win streak, whether fans would leave or show up, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about the roster cut, which we'll talk about that. These are things that are obsolete. That are dead, and Nebraska is still in a mindset that this is what we should be doing, and it's not. But for some reason we keep thinking that it's going to hurt our program, and this is the way we did it, and blah blah blah. These are different times, different ages, and everything. And I keep telling people, if you don't adapt, you will die. If you don't adapt and change and grow, you will die.
Yeah.
And Nebraska's is dead and has been slow and has been dying for a couple of decades now. And I can go on about that. And so it's little things like that are really big things.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I was listening to you guys talk, and Rashawn was just irate. Not irate. He was just upset. He was angry. He was frustrated. He was all these things that he's been for quite some time, right?
Yeah.
We've heard that song and dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing against the players, and it's nothing against the coaches. This is just pure factual. And I've been saying this for time and time again. And they would not, Terrell, along with Rashawn, the captain, would not acknowledge what the issue is. And before you correct something or get better, you have to admit what the problem is. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to say to Rashawn, dude, they can't make the play, and they have not made the play because they physically can't make the play. They can't do it. So that's the problem. That's one of the problems, which is a major problem.
Yeah.
They're used to seeing guys that can make the play. They're used to having coaches that can coach and put you in position to be successful. And so I don't get upset with the players because they just physically can't do it. I looked at my wife. I said, you know what? When we played Kansas or whomever we played, you had Nebraska and you had Kansas. I said, we beat them, right?
Yeah.
And we beat them pretty soundly, right?
Yeah.
I said, because we were better.
Mm-hmm.
We were physically better. We're faster. We're bigger. We're stronger. So we're the Kansas. That's what we are.
That's where we are.
That's where we are. nothing against Kansas. I'm just using it as an analogy, right? Because they have some really good teams.
Down program.
But now they're pretty good, and K-State and all those. But I'm just saying, whoever we played, I don't know, whoever we played, and we beat those teams the way we did.
Well, like 35 straight wins against all those Big 12 North
teams. We were
teams.
superior players.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we had a coaching staff that was a superior coaching staff and had tenure. Right? I said, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
So when I go and I watch Texas, I watch Alabama, I watch Georgia, I said, we were those teams that you see on Saturday. We were those teams, right? And that's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Judge Judy does not like the word basic. Basically, right? We were just superior.
Yeah.
So it's like ramming your head up against that wall. It's the same thing over and over. They physically can't make the play. And not only that, they don't have the mentality. So they're angry. I'm not referring to Rashawn. They're angry and upset and disappointed. Why can't these guys do that? Because they're not that tier guy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all of them, but a majority of them, a lot of them, they're not that guy.
Well, and it's not, again, not targeting this team specifically, but over the last 10 years, we can see you don't have a whole lot of NFL draft picks. You don't have a whole lot of All-Americans. You have a whole lot of all-conference players.
I don't even think you have all-conference players.
Right. You don't have a whole lot of all-conference players.
We don't. I've been talking about this.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against those guys. It really isn't. It's just where we are. And the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
It's right there staring at you. And but there are a lot of things you need to do to address that, which I told you I got an answer for. I really do. I really do think I have an answer for it. You're going to get the same results.
Now let me say this, because I agree with you, and that's
do you really?
Well, no, I really do.
I'm not being mean or callous or anything.
No,
it's just the way it is, man.
No, and it is like, if you go back and look at those teams, throughout, like you said, one thing you can't replicate the players, and we'll get to that in a second. But replicating the coaching staff is a big part of this too, because Tom Osborne's a top 5 coach in college football history. In general, it's not easy to replicate a top 5 coach in college football.
100%. Yeah. 100%. I mean, that's why I always have a disclaimer that, that's a Hall of Fame player or all-pro player or a Hall of Fame coach. There's only 1 or 2 Coach Osbornes, right?
Yeah.
There's probably 5 of them, right? In my lifetime, right?
And they're Bear Bryant. They're Nick Saban.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
they're big names.
There's tons of them. So don't misunderstand me. We have to do better.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to do better. I'm not saying we got to have. And who knew Coach Osborne was going to do what he did? And we had an idea, right? Just because of the way we ran our business, that this could happen, and it did happen, right? I always knew that it would happen just because of the way we were coaching, the type of players we had. It was just a matter of time. But to make a long story short, I've said we've been getting leftovers. We've been getting leftover coaches, and we've been getting leftover players. Whereas before, we used to get the cream of the crop. People wanted to come here. They didn't come here by defect. Nothing against people that come here, that are here, is just a reality. It's just a reality. And that's why I'm giving Coach Rule a little bit of time to tweak his staff, because his staff was dismantled. Wasn't the same staff at Temple. Was not the same staff at, was it not Tulane? Baylor, right? Was not the same staff. So when he was let go or whatever, and then went to Carolina, right? When he was let go there, his staff, majority of his staff was dispersed and were not available. His first pick or second pick. So he had to go and get other guys to fill those shoes. I understand that, So it's just a matter of him getting his staff set where you have some cohesiveness and guys that you have confidence in. And then that's a start. So I give them a little bit of time for that.
Well, let me
Not that they need my permission. I understand that and take that in consideration.
But just in part to make your point about the players, though, and that's what, when you do, and I sit in there with those guys on the captain all the time, and they talk about the way that they practice. You can't replicate a practice nowadays or in any team. Like the practices they're talking about, to your point, are kind of like the practices that are going on in Alabama or Georgia or something like that, because you can't say, well, back in the day we did it this way. Well, back in the day you had a bunch of future pros, on those practice squads. So you can't replicate that. That's impossible if you don't have it. But let me ask you this, because I've asked Ralph Brown this. I've asked, Terrell is another good point, but you yourself, the Nebraska program back in the day was getting players that were interested because Nebraska was a top 5 program. Would you have, with your high school resume in the offers that you would have had?
I've been saying this for
would you consider Nebraska?
No, I would not consider University of Nebraska Lincoln.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Right? They wouldn't
because of where the program
would not
is.
be on my top 10. No, they would not be on my list.
Right.
If I was fortunate enough in high school right now, where I was considered at that time, I was a blue chipper quarterback, right? That was heavily recruited, right? I had really, really good choices, right? Really, really good choices.
Yeah.
The lower tier schools were not even on my list.
Yeah.
Like, Houston or whoever, right? And I got calls. Now, in the end, I was like, oh, that'd be a good place to go visit, just because, right?
Yeah.
But no, they were not even on my list.
Yeah. Well, and
it's that simple. I've been saying this for quite some time. That's why it's very important to win, right? They're not even on my list. And there's so many other factors now that come into play, even if you're winning or not winning, right? You got the city, the state, what it has to offer. You got the NIL package. You got diversity. You got entertainment, nightlife. You got weather. You got all these other factors that also help you make that decision on where you want to go, right? TV is no longer an issue. Yeah. Are you going to be on TV? How many games do you play on TV? Right?
Yes,
that question used to come up.
Right, yeah.
Or how many times you on CBS or ABC?
Yeah.
At that time, ESPN was really starting to emerge, right? Those are your 3 large networks, right? Not a concern now.
Yeah.
Everyone's on TV. So if you're in California or the East Coast, you're gonna be on TV.
Yeah.
No, so those are all. There's so many different things that affect, and that's why Nebraska is a very, very difficult place to recruit from.
Well, and it's an interesting dynamic too, because there is that on one hand. On the other hand, there are Minnesota's, Kansas State's, Iowa's that never had glory, that have to kind of raise their own players. They're never going to get those blue chip prospects.
All those schools like Wisconsin, Iowa, they have the same struggle. Very similar demographics, weather, that kind of stuff. Same situation.
Yeah.
Minnesota, and look at those programs and where they are on a consistent, national basis. Are they relevant? Are they in the hunt? So it's going to be a challenge for them. And I talk about this so much. I'm not going to give away all my thoughts.
Yeah.
But these are things that are just staring you right in the eye that you have to address and think, how can we tackle this? How can we overcome this obstacle?
Yeah.
And it's no disrespect to the players and to the coaches. None whatsoever. Because I'm from a standpoint, we all are, right? You have to. I always want to talk about consequences and accountability coming on this show. I've been thinking about what we're going to talk about because we really can't talk about Husker football because you see it every day. We'll be talking about the same thing.
The same episode every week.
I'm sad to say that, right? Guys don't make the play, don't do this, don't do that, and why? They can't do it, man.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We've got plenty more to talk. Big picture discussion here today on Weekly Wrap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. We'll be back after the break.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Mulberry Barbecue is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Hey everybody, this is Chris Beecham from Brand Lincoln Podcast and Perch Merch, your go-to in Lincoln for printing and promotional needs. Speaking of that, we are running a huge hoodie sale now through November 30th to save you big money on great brands. 20% off everything from Nike and Bella Canvas pullovers to Gildan and Port & Company sweatshirts and district fleeces. Get yours for your group or organization today by calling us at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and Day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine, but also lots of wind. We'll see an afternoon high around 49. Tonight, clear skies with a continued breeze, a low near 28. Tomorrow, sunshine returns with a light breeze, and an afternoon high near 44. Our meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now's the time to get your John Deere equipment inspected and prepared for next season. Acres trained technicians will thoroughly evaluate your machine and get it running at peak performance. And for a limited time, Acres is offering early inspection incentives. Sign up before December 15th and qualify for a discount on parts installed by Acres. Get no interest and no payments until November of 25 with approved financing through John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. Contact your nearest Acres location for details.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements. We fix basements.
At F Foundation Repair, we've been fixing basements for over 30 years. We're your local foundation repair experts. Our warranties stay here. Our people work here. You can trust us to take care of your home. Go to WeFixBasements.com to learn more.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel.
You know, Raiola and Holgerson, I'm sure, have had plenty of one-on-one meetings. We're going to close the door behind us, and I'm going to say, hey, what did you like from this offense? What did you not like? You know, Raiola knows at the end of the day what's really going on with this offense. To be honest, that's what needs to catapult this offense. And this whole team is Raiola's play. You know, Sat's philosophy and Raiola's philosophy or Raiola's skill set just didn't match. I think this is going to match Raiola, and it's going to allow for his skill set to come out.
Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. It is Wednesday, and that means it's time for weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. It also means Mary Ellen's dropped by and gave us some lunch. Also, Sweet Things by Marcy. So shout out to both those businesses. We love the support, and we love the food as well. Let's get to some of the response off the text line after our first segment.
Did I start something?
You might have started a little bit of something, but at least
I didn't mean to do that.
Maybe you've at least garnered some support here. Cubsker maybe doesn't know necessarily about your meeting with the AD, but he says Steve Taylor for quarterback coach. I think we can see that in the future.
Hey, I do have a title. I would be Nebraska football consultant.
Yeah, there you go. You want to be a consultant? That'd be good.
Yeah, I don't want to coach. I couldn't golf.
You want to be an analyst? Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'll be a consultant.
A consultant. Yeah,
I will come in and consult. You pay me, and I go golfing. And then you win football games, and we turn this program around.
That's a win-win for everybody. I don't know why anybody would be against it. Yeah.
Yes.
3994 says, my favorite are the fans and people that get mad we don't commit to more of running the ball, but absolutely praise hiring an air raid offensive coordinator. What were your thoughts kind of on that? Does Nebraska need to get to a level of physicality again? Maybe that is that the first step?
In order to be successful in football, you have to be physical. That's why I've always talked about, when we played, and I'm not saying that when we played, any successful team, you got to be physical, regardless of what conference you're in. I mean, we talk about that all the time, and Pac-12, the Pac-10, they're not physical, but they beat us.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
UCLA looks physical enough.
I mean, yeah. So, no, in order to be successful in football, you have to be physical. It's a gladiator sport. Yeah.
Do you think Nebraska should, I guess, run the ball more is the question?
You can run the ball if you can.
If you can.
You got to have a stout offensive line. You got to have a good, running backs that can run. And you got to have a quarterback that's mobile to run the football. And you got to have the ability to do it. I heard, like I said, this is no disrespect to the players. None at all. None at all. Because I'm a player. I'm a player, right? I was listening to Rashawn saying that the running back should have cut back here, didn't have the vision.
Yeah.
Well, good running backs have vision. They have instinct.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's what makes them good.
Is it tough to coach that, too? Is it tough to coach that into somebody that doesn't have it?
Instincts is tough to coach.
You're right, yeah.
Yes, it's tough to coach. Some players have it, some players don't.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So you got to get a running back that has vision, that can feel it.
Got to be a little bit of a feel type of thing.
You have instincts. A quarterback, no different than a quarterback that can slide in the pocket, do this, a lineman that can adjust and do this. I mean, you have to physically have the ability to do it.
Yeah, Nebraska maybe just doesn't have enough of those guys.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
yeah,
this is when we're talking about the roster cut. We'll get into this, right? Not at the time, not everyone could come to Nebraska. You had to have a certain level of play. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Not everyone could play in the NFL.
Yeah, it's good to have
or
those
the
stadiums.
CFL or wherever it may be. Not everyone could do that, right? Because that's where you have to be. And not everyone can go to Georgia. Not everyone can go to Alabama, Texas. Not everyone can go there, right? So, and that's life. Not everyone can go to Harvard. Not everyone can go to medical school. Not everyone can do that. You have to have the aptitude to do it. Now, you can work hard and you can study. Some can do that and grind and make the cut. Absolutely, that happens. No question about it. And it's a tough reality.
Yeah.
But that's the way of the world.
Derek in a car says Steve Taylor is spot on. Until we return to the level of physicality that is expected, we will be a 500 team. He says, I think Dana Holgerson, the offensive coordinator, called it out rightfully so. Can the coaches find the people yet in the season is the question. He says, great show. Always look forward to Wednesday at noon. Dana Holgerson mentioned the other day he's maybe spotted somebody that can help out this Saturday that hasn't been used, at least as much as of yet. Do you think that they're,
That's good. We talked about this maybe the week before, like to see what he's going to bring to the table because he's been here on a short period of time.
Yeah,
evaluating players that he thought could do better at this position or should be playing. I mean, and I talked about this when I was playing professionally in Canada, wherever. That when a new coach came in, they make their changes. Say, hey, you'd be a better fit here versus this. We're going to use this way versus the way you were used. To give him some time to adjust and analyze his team and the players, and then put them in the best position for that team to be successful. And that's what good coaches do, right? And we're going to see if he's one of those coaches. We're going to see with the decisions that he's make. That's why I haven't, discounted Rule out, because Rule has made some good decisions, right? As far as tweaking his staff. He brought some people in, and he did it relatively in a short period of time.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how that plays out. And this was another good acquisition. Right. So we're going to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this because I thought this was interesting too. And it hit me at some point in the Scott Frost era. I think it hits everybody is, you go from this kind of level. And this is when you start to dance with trouble is that you go from the level of I believe that he's the guy to I hope he's the guy. Do you still believe or do you hope that Matt Rule is the guy?
I have I don't believe he's the guy because I don't know enough about him to say that he's the guy. Right. I mean, he's been successful at other programs.
Yeah.
Right.
And for what it's worth, his year two is that other programs have often been are 500 or barely above 500 to begin with. So.
And I'm not with him on a day-to-day basis. Right. I mean, I can't look into his eyes. Like, I can't really get a sense for that. I say I hope he's the guy because I want Nebraska to do well. I don't want us to be firing more coaches and going down there. So I hope that he's the guy. I'm a very optimistic guy, and I believe in giving a guy a chance to succeed or to succeed or fail on his own merit, right? And I know that this is a very, very tough state. It's a tough state that makes it far different than other institutions. And so, I'm a little bit more patient with that. As long as I'm seeing some things here and there, I'm gonna support and feel good about, okay, we're going in the right direction. It's gonna take some time. Now, how much time? I don't know. I don't want it to be a lot of time because you should start seeing. That's why I said this year, I think, with the schedule that we had, that we should have embarked on that 7 to 8 win category.
Still possible.
It's still possible. So I haven't let that go yet. Yeah. It's still very possible. It's not looking that great.
You have to win out if you're going to get to 8.
And if he does that, I think it's a successful year.
Oh yeah,
it's a successful year. If not, then I think we tread water. If anything, we digress. We digress. That's just a fact. I'm not. I like to say the truth, what I think is my truth, or what I see, and then people can take it for what it's worth. But a 5-win season is a failure to me. It's a failure. Even a 6-year win for me is really a failure. I really do. I still feel it because I expect us to win about 7 games.
Yeah,
7 games is when I had I'm with you on that.
Good step forward.
That's a good step forward. 6 games is like and the reason why because we dropped some games that were very, very winnable games. So
yeah,
the only game
the last 2 games the team's under 500. These last 2.
Yeah, and Colorado, I felt good because that was a legitimate win. So I thought we were doing that. And that's a game that I thought that we would lose. So that was a game that I thought that we had to win. Right? These are certain games you have to upset 1, 2, or 3 of these teams on this calendar year, on this schedule, right? To give me a lot more confidence that we're going to get there. And unfortunately, to this date, we have not done that. So these last 2 games, and we missed the boat on UCLA and we missed on USC. Yeah. So now we got Wisconsin and we got Iowa. We can still do it. We do that, it's a successful year. I hate to say it like that, but that's what it hinges on.
It does, right? And it's not a position that Nebraska has done well with as of late over the last several years. Would you put more Would you say that it's more successful if you beat Wisconsin and Iowa for beating Wisconsin and Iowa? They've lost 10 straight to Wisconsin, 8 out of 9 to Iowa, but neither of those programs look particularly unbeatable.
These are just teams that if you want to be relevant and you want to get to where you want to get to, right, you have to be able to beat these teams. I mean, you have to be able to beat these teams. Well, you have to be able to beat these teams. I know there's more parity now and it's tougher and all that. I get that. But you have to be able to beat these teams. I don't care if it's early in the season, mid-season, or late season. When it's all said and done, you have to be able to beat these teams if you want to get to where you want to get to, right? And that's to have a chance to win your conference, right? And have a chance to be in contention for the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about now, to be in contention for the playoffs. And in order to do that, you have to be able to beat these type of teams. And you're going to have them on your schedule every year.
Yeah.
Every year. There's going to be a Wisconsin. There's going to be an Iowa. There's going to be a USC. There's going to be a UCLA. There's going to be a Colorado. There's going to be an Illinois. There's going to be a Purdue. All these teams, and they're going to switch. And it could be who is. I can look at the schedule next year.
All of them except for Iowa will be different, but same type of teams is what
same type of teams is what I'm saying. And you have to be able to beat those teams and beat them on a consistent basis to be in the hunt, to be in contention.
Yeah. All right, we got plenty more to talk about. One final segment of Weekly Wrap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Over 75% of the patients that come to Limitless Male have been told over and over again by their primary care providers that their testosterone level is fine. Guess what? If you have all the symptoms of low testosterone, you're not fine. Come get a second opinion at Limitless Male. We have helped tens of thousands of men feel optimal again, and we can help you. Stop waiting. Come see the men's health experts. Book your free consult online at limitlessmale.com.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
The McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Wolves beat Southampton 2-0, while Man City fell to Brighton 2-1. On the final game of Saturday action, Liverpool was able to top Aston Villa 2-0. On Sunday, Man United had a dominant victory against Leicester City 3-0, while Nottingham Forest fell to Newcastle 3-1. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
Now's the time to get your John Deere equipment inspected and prepared for next season. Acres trained technicians will thoroughly evaluate your machine and get it running at peak performance. And for a limited time, Acres is offering early inspection incentives. Sign up before December 15th and qualify for a discount on parts installed by Acres. Get no interest and no payments until November of 25 with approved financing through John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. Contact your nearest Acres location for details.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine, but also lots of wind. We'll see an afternoon high around 49. Tonight, clear skies with a continued breeze, a low near 28. Tomorrow, sunshine returns with a light breeze, and an afternoon high near 44. Our meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Stevenson Smith Construction is a full-service employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensonsmith.com.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements.
We fix basements. We fix basements.
At F Foundation Repair, we've been fixing basements for over 30 years. We're your local foundation repair experts. Our warranties stay here. Our people work here. You can trust us to take care of your home. Go to WeFixBasements.com to learn more.
There are moments in life, surrounded by family and friends, when you realize This is what it's all about. For 65 years, the Riddles family has been creating jewelry to capture these precious moments, crafting one memory at a time to last forever. Now, join them in celebrating Riddles Jewelry's 65th anniversary with incredible savings. Enjoy up to 30% off engagement rings. And for a limited time, save up to an additional $700 on your ring purchase. At Riddles, they're more than jewelry. They're here to help you create moments that truly sparkle, surrounded by the people who matter most. Family owned. Today, tomorrow, forever. Riddles Jewelry.
Hey, Nebraska football fans, it's defensive lineman Ty Robinson, and I've got a winning play for you with Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Team up with Action and install a new Bradford white water heater in your home. And if we win the conference championship this season, you'll get a full refund. Don't fumble this opportunity. Sack your old water heater this season and score big with Action. Visit actionlincoln.com/Huskers to learn more.
Promotion valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals in everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel.
You know, Raiola and Holgerson, I'm sure, have had plenty of one-on-one meetings. We're going to close the door behind us, and I'm going to say, hey, what did you like from this offense? What did you not like? You know, Raiola knows at the end of the day what's really going on with this offense. To be honest, that's what needs to catapult this offense. And this whole team is Raiola's play. You know, Sat's philosophy and Raiola's philosophy or Raiola's skill set just didn't match. I think this is going to match Raiola, and it's going to allow her his skill set to come out.
Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. We're getting some of the big picture discussion stuff out of the way. And one of the big picture discussions that's been happening as of late is especially focused on the roster size being cut down to 105. Currently, Nebraska usually has about 145, 150 players on the roster.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about the upcoming roster?
So let's take that. This is the narrative and the perspective that this state should have on this. So let's break it down, right? Okay, on the NFL, how many are on the active roster?
53-man roster.
Okay. Now I didn't have you look up to see how many you have on reserve and injured reserve, because there's a number for that too. They're not playing and they're not practicing, so we're not even going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But on the active roster, they have how many?
53.
53. Now, on the practice squad, how many are they allowed to have?
17, I believe.
17.
16 or 17.
So we got what? We got add that up. 17 on the practice squad, and how many on the active roster?
So about 70 total players.
So
active
they have
roster
70 total players that they have in the NFL that they prepare, right, in practice to get ready for the game. And they've been doing just fine, right? The NFL, they're doing just fine. No one says anything, right? We're still going to have 105 players on the roster, right? So you're still going to have 35 more bodies that in the end will be, quote, quote, your development players, you want to call them that, development players,
Yeah.
or guys that can come and play here and walk on. So you're just, the numbers are too excessive. Like, it's way too many. Like, we had 200 walk-on players. Guys would come up and say to me, Steve, I played with you. I had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
No idea who they were. Right?
Yeah.
Didn't know their names, didn't see them. They're in another locker room. I just went through the locker room, the new locker room. It's way too big. You can't even develop camaraderie with your player. It's way too big. Too many people. So college football has changed. So you don't need to have 145 people. They have people that are walking on there really shouldn't even be there. They're just a body. They're just a body. It's nothing bad, nothing wrong. The chance of them, the realistic chance of them playing are very, very slim.
Sure.
They're just going to be a body out there. I'm amazed at, but it's a different time. I'm amazed at that. They're not going to play.
Now, what it will do,
not everyone can play at Nebraska.
Yeah.
Or wherever it may be. That's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's and I just one way to look at it. I think the
That's
frustration
the only way
for
to look
people,
at it. If you want,
well,
if you want to contend and be successful, it's the only way to look at it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're going to be whining and complaining about something that, just get with the program.
Yeah.
You got to get with it. Now, what that does, it elevates your standard and your play. So if you got a guy that's in Geneva, Nebraska, or wherever it is, he wants to play for Nebraska, he's going to say, I have to be this much better to make the roster. Right? I have to be this much better to make the roster to go and play in my home state at the University of Nebraska. Either on the active roster or the practice roster or whatever, the scout team, whatever you want to call it. So it raises your level of play.
Yeah, and it does. I mean, it's more and more, and as we move forward, college football, of course, more becoming a pro league, and that's kind of the roster limitation. Look at it,
and it's easier for me to talk about this now because it doesn't affect me. I mean, like it did affect me, but I was good enough where I was one of those players, right?
Yeah.
So, but I never forget this when going into my senior year, right? You play for 3 or 4 years. And we used to sit in that room with 200 something players, and Coach Osborne used to get up there and say, "Okay, guys, only such and such. The average of a years of a professional football player is 2.5 years. He used to get on the board, 2.5 years, right? So get your education, go to school, blah blah blah. And then he would say, the average person less than such and such percent will play at the next level. We'll play professional football.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we got 200 something people in there, right? It hits home. But I swear, I had a guy, I'll never forget this, Ray Coleman, who was a running back from Texas, a walk-on, right? Thought he was going to get drafted. He thought I'm at Nebraska. I'm playing behind these 3 or 4 players. I'm good enough. I'm like, dude, it's not going to happen. Highly unlikely, right? But even my point is, even that guy thought he was going to play pro ball. We all kind of think that for the most part, right?
Right.
Now, even when I was sitting in my chair, I was like, I'm in that 1%. I think I'm good enough. I'm in that 1% where I'm going to play pro ball. So he's not really talking to me.
Right.
My point is that you have to be good enough. And then what I noticed can't come my senior year, right? My last year. And it hit me like, I have no more spring ball, right? Because everything's structured. I have no more spring ball.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Now, I was fortunate enough where I knew I was going to play pro ball either in the NFL, if I wanted to switch positions, or I knew I was going to be a first pick in the Canadian Football League. I was already contacted. So I knew I was going to have life after football to play football. But for a lot of guys, boom, it comes to an end because the scouts aren't calling you. You don't get invited to comp. First of all, you do not get invited to All-Star games, right? That's done, right? Guys go on to go to All-Star games, right? What else I was gonna say? Scouts, agents are not contacting you.
Yeah.
Right. I had agents contacting me and everything, right? So my point is, it abruptly comes to an end.
Yeah.
The dream's over. It's reality. Now it's like, what am I going to do? But that's why I went to college to get education, blah, blah, blah. So it weeds you out. And that's no different than medical school trying to take the MCATs or the LSAT, whatever it is, you get weeded out.
Yeah.
That's just the way of the world. Right. And that's where we are now in collegiate sports.
Yeah. Less people are going to be able to play, but It'll
I
make
think
it
it's
it'll
great.
make it more important to be able to.
I
to get
personally,
them.
if you're lucky enough, coming out of high school and then being that whatever percentile it is to go to a Division I school, right? You're thinking, hey, I want to be good enough to go to a Division I school. I can even make money.
Yeah,
I can make.
There's definitely positives.
No,
to this era.
I
yeah.
can make
Yeah.
a fair amount of money at 18 or 19 years old.
Yeah.
Right. This would be my thought process. So I want to be in the top. I want to be a blue chip player in high school, so I can have that opportunity. Right. And the
Yeah.
better you are, the more chances and more money you make. And have a great time.
Yeah.
Have a great time. I don't hate these kids for having NIL and having this opportunity. It's just when you were born, just like I'm glad I wasn't born in the early 60s and had to go through all the civil rights stuff. We were fortunate to reap the benefits of that stuff.
Sure.
So I'm not hating on those guys. I think it's great. It's a great opportunity. And you can set yourself up really, really well for an education, an education, to have a life after sports is done, then also to make good money in college that can really give you a foundation where you can really be that far ahead
Absolutely.
than the average 18-year-old kid out of high school.
Yeah.
That has to get a job from 8 to 5 or whatever it may be, or have to go to college and not be compensated. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, with all the money that's being made with collegiate sports. I think it's great. So
yeah,
I'm not preaching or anything, but this is just the reality of our world, and I think it's good.
Yeah. And you're saying
long overdue. We've been talking about players to be paid forever.
Yeah.
Ernie Chambers, when I was in school, was trying to pass legislation for players to be paid.
Yeah.
Right. And now it's here.
So the message today, though, is to adapt to the change.
You have to adapt.
Not sit back and complain about
You
how it
have
was.
to adapt. You have to embrace it, and you have to change,
Mm.
which is very difficult for this state to do.
Yeah.
Extremely difficult for this
Sure
state
has
to
been.
do.
All right, let's that'll wrap it up. We got a message. We got an overall theme for today, so that's good. We'll get one. Hopefully, we can talk about some winning football next week.
Yeah,
we
that
will.
would be nice
We will
to talk
see.
about
Yeah. But that'll wrap it up.
Versus all the ills of, of collegiate sport. Yeah, let's talk about a victory. I would love to talk about that. I
Yeah.
really would.
That'll wrap it up with Steve Taylor Locker Room coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's